We have the power of Shining Sarcophagus for you. It appears that, of course, Morganite's stun is still here, and we have Monarchs as well. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So our first list here is going to be some Shining Sarcophagus action for you. Now, for those of you that have been paying attention to the cool things that this deck does, this basically plays more like a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, I feel like, than it does, you know, the Shining Sarcophagus stuff. But you do have access to the Shining Sarcophagus kind of board clear stuff, because Mr. Gandora, the Dragon Destruction, his job is to, you know, disrupt the opponent. And one other thing down here I want to point out is, you're basically supposed to be playing the assist spell card that's supposed to be allowing you to make the Dragoon a little bit more consistently. They couldn't find one for their tournament, so, you know, they basically were able to win this event without the help of turboing out the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon as consistently, which I think that's a pretty cool thing to think about here. You know, this deck is able to still make these crazy dumb boards and, you know, do them relatively easily. Also, I mean, yes, you are doing the ties in here. Remember, this for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you get locked out of the extra, which is not a problem, honestly. As long as, you know, you can get to the Dark Magician Girl and have the Shining Sarcophagus up and running, and then, you know, go down, you know, sub-Blue Eyes combo here, and, you know, end up with the pieces that you need. I like this deck. I think that it's cheesy in the idea that it is. I think that actually having the spell card to help turbo out the Dark Magician would help. Also, I do appreciate the fact that we are playing Jinzo layered down here. I think actually seeing Jinzo layered be a cute little card, and also we do have Ebon High being another little option, but you know what, the level 6 turbo ability definitely works out. So make that change, give the deck a shot, and I think you'll have a little bit of fun with it. Next up is Morganite Stun. Now, I have been wanting to play Morganite Stun for a little while. My major complaint about this deck is going to be the same one that I think most people are going to have. Morgana is a broken card. Unfortunately, she is a hand trap magnet. She is going to absorb so many hand traps that your head is going to spin, and you're going to be massively disappointed when you start to realize, oh, hey, you know, if this actually ends up getting shut off, well, we're going to run into some inconsistencies along the way, but that's a story for another day. I do appreciate the fact we are doing 1 Archlord, 2 Majesty's Fiend, and 3 Vanities, which means you should have 6 boss monsters. The other thing is typically if you're playing this deck, if you do open up the pot of X-Trap, the X-Trap will probably absorb a hand trap for you. You know, if your opponent ashes this, well, congratulations, you know, you're basically, you've done what you set out to do. Also, going with the triple guilt gripping, triple succumbing, and 1 time turning. I think those ratios are going to be pretty correct. You also do see we're also only playing 2 super polys in here. If you end up not opening up the super poly line, then, you know, it's not necessarily the worst, I guess. You also do see we have Clockwork Knight down here. Turning everything into a machine monster and inconveniencing your opponent is a different type of floodgate. You would honestly be surprised how much that this really inconveniences the opponent with the lines that you can actually do, and I kind of appreciate that a little bit. Also, all the solemns you can ever want. But I mean, when these become free, you have absolutely no reason to be considering not playing these. It's, you know, why these Morganites become really, really crazy, because I too love not having to pay for the cost of my spells and traps. Yes. Next up here, we have some Monarch action for you here. Now, there's still 2 camps to build Monarchs. You're either going with extra deckless or with an extra deck. I do think basically playing extra deckless is probably going to be the way to go, because setting up Domain just feels so broken. The minute you can get your opponent out of their extra deck, usually is really good. But the other thing is, if you're playing this deck, you're playing a deck that needs to be able to go first. And I feel like, yes, you do have the Fuas and Perulias in here on that off chance that, you know, you can set up and go. Also, this actually having the Zoborg and the Mega Monarch built into the main deck is kind of a cheesy little thing. I actually kind of appreciate just having this card here to assist us with doing our thing. Classically, outside of that, I mean, you're still going with triple pantheism. One return is absolutely fine. In terms of the extra fat, I don't really think there's much that you're going to try to do. Also, are citing the spell card Soul Exchange. I can tell you, actually playing this card, it is a amazing card, man. Getting the forced tributes off of the opponent's field is just such a great effect. And yeah, if your opponent plays tributes, depends how your field is, but usually you're just going to be relying on this. Also, only one Monarch Stormforth now. Monarch Stormforth is not as good as it used to be anymore, man. I really wish that this card was functionally better than it is, but we live in a format right now where you just can't roll 3 of these and go. Whatever Monarchs you're deploying, they have to get the job done, or you're going to be in a really bad position. This is Sonny's Day 2 Blue Eyes Odeon list. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how in the world does this deck actually keep showing up? It's because the man with the mark is a spellcaster, which allows him to turn into the spirit with eyes of blue, which then allows you to go down, full blue eyes combo, because then you get into the mausoleum and you're off to the races. Nobody really thinks about the man with the mark actually being a card that works with this. But, I mean, this is the same reason why people are playing Alistair the Invoker with these packages. Also, Sonny loves his 60 card pile, man. Like, the fact that you will see people just gather up 60, toss it together, and have it work out, it's good. Also, going with 2 brick eyes in here. For the Odeon stuff, I think your ratios are all correct. That we did put a lot more of an emphasis on the Destructive Daruma cannon in here. Let's call it what it is. Destructive Daruma automatically is your out to Lunalight. If you play against a Lunalight player, you have 3 outs to clearing off those stupid cards. Because remember, this affects the player, not the monster itself, which works out so well for you in a game where you need to clear up those monsters as quickly as possible. It's why I appreciate how stupid Destructive Daruma cannon is. Also, I mean, you get access to the Majesties. You also do see that we have Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors here. And we're also citing the Verdict of the Anubis. Verdict actually is a pretty good card. I didn't realize how good Verdict actually is as a power negate to kind of help you detour your opponent in all of those ways. So, card definitely one of the stronger options available. And our last list is some Sky Striker action for you. There were a lot of Sky Striker cards that I saw people basically trying out this weekend for builds. This is the build that I kind of wish I would have stuck with, actually playing the Foolish Brittle Goods. I did not get drolled at all while playing this deck, and I should have stuck with this, because obviously if your opponent has the droll, well, you just kind of lose, but that's okay. You do go with the board breakers in here. You do see that we have the linkages to climb up, and of course, only playing 1 Lemon Escape, which I can actually get behind this. We're also not playing a trap at all in here. If your opponent ends up, rolling through some of the more pricey and power cards, well, there's that. Also, this build's MVP was actually the Heat Wave. Heat Wave getting a forced skip on the opponent's entire turn, from what I was reading in the report, was just so devastating to players. Like, a Sky Striker player doing this just assures that going into the next turn that you're just going to massively OTK your opponent, and there's not really going to be much that you'll be able to do at that point in time. So I actually like that. Having that OTK gas actually really, really helps you out in the long haul. So I appreciated what we were trying to do on that front. So what do you guys think about the capabilities of these engines? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.